Good afternoon, Musketeers. It's October 26th, 2018. I'm Aiden Callahan.
And I'm Nick Walker. This is Xavier News.
From the Xavier University Television Studio, this is Xavier News. Your campus, your region, your world. This is Xavier News.
A series of explosive devices were intercepted this week after being sent to prominent Democratic figures. This includes Hillary Clinton, Barack Obama, and even the New York CNN headquarters. No harm was done to any of the intended recipients, and it is not yet clear if the incidents are linked. However, officials are worried that more devices could have already been sent out. It's also unclear how these packages were sent. Authorities believe if they had been sent through the U.S. postal system, they would have been found long before they arrived in the mailboxes. Some were sent in packages with stamps, while other recipients, such as prominent Democratic billionaire George Soros, had pipe bombs just dropped into their mailboxes. Despite the different methods of delivery, the pipe bombs all had a similar construction, and all were found to have enhancements to potentially cause more harm. At a New York press conference, an FBI official said, quote, "The utilization of violence in order to further one's own political agenda is unacceptable to us, and we will not rest until we stop these hazardous devices from being mailed and bring the individual or individuals to justice." End quote. Let's hope whoever sent these packages are found and brought to justice as soon as possible.
With all the talk around saving the environment and keeping a clean ecosystem, Delta Airlines is grounding for no more plastic straws. They're going to remove all plastic utensils, wrappers, and stir sticks. There was a big talk when New York City and other places in the country eliminated straws from restaurants, and now airlines are following the same route. They will be changing plastic to bamboo starting in mid-April of 2019, and have already implanted it in Delta lounge sections. According to USA Today, quote, "The airline, which transports more than 180 million customers annually, is taking further steps to reduce pollution, including removal of unnecessary wrapping on Delta One amenity kits and lessening styrofoam usage in the airline's Atlanta headquarters," end quote. They hope to make this a new era for all airlines to remove plastic and save the earth one step at a time.
The midterm race was just thrown for a loop as the AFTAB Pureval campaign worker was found working undercover at a Steve Chabot event. Jack Dowerwind, who identifies himself on his Facebook page as a veteran organizer at AFTAB for Ohio, was seen at Chabot's door-knocking event, sporting a Chabot t-shirt. Dowerwind apparently peppered Chabot with questions about his debate strategy, then left for an apparent camping trip before actually knocking on any doors. The Chabot campaign is sure this was directed by the Pureval campaign, calling them, quote, "shady, dishonest, and lacking in a moral compass," end quote. The Pureval campaign shot back, insisting they were not involved and accusing the Chabot campaign of using the same dirty tricks against them, including spying on their events with fake supporters and sending campaign workers to harass them at their offices. Don't forget to vote this November 6th for who you think should represent the Ohio 1st District in Congress. This race has been called one of the most watched and most contentious races in the nation.
In Cincinnati news, the amusement park Kings Island roller coaster, the Firehawk, will close after this weekend. The Firehawk opened in 2007 and, according to the park officials, quote, "reached the end of its service life," end quote. The Firehawk is a Flying Dutchman model made by manufacturer Vekoma. Kings Island does not believe they will lose fans in their big summer season as they have multiple other rides. On the other hand, this is the last weekend for Halloween haunting season as it will begin to prepare for Winterfest starting November 23rd. No new roller coasters have been announced yet to replace the Firehawk ride.
A local organization has been providing support for cancer patients.
Here's Connor Dermody with the story.
The cancer support community is set up to do over 250 free programs a month for any and everyone going through the cancer experience. Our doors are open to newly diagnosed, survivors, family members, caregivers, anyone with any sort of connection to cancer.
They are educated, they have a chance to tell their story, they get a chance to tell who they are and what they're doing. We provide some amazing programs here, from Zumba classes to art classes to nutrition classes, so that every individual who comes in here can learn to think differently about how they handle being diagnosed with cancer.
We try to really focus on the psychosocial part, and what that means is really providing emotional support with our support groups. We really try to be there to provide not only things like exercise classes and education classes and classes that are very holistic, but really trying to look at every area of the human being and making sure that the programs that we have are in line with being very holistic and then being able to just meet the needs of people where they're at.
The goal of the organization is first to continue to provide free services. So everything we do in this building, there's no charge for the people who come through our doors. So that's the biggest thing. Why would you want to have to focus on paying for something when you have just been impacted by one of the probably the biggest things that you're going to have to face in your life? So we want to take the stress out of the payment or the cost when you're dealing with your hospital bills and things of that nature, but to provide a feeling of home, support, community for everything that happens as you come through the door.
People participating need this because it's different than what the normal cancer experience is. They're not, just locked in like a chemo unit, and they're not sick all the time. They're not locked in isolation in their home. They can get out and be a part of the community and do fun things with other people that they can find common interests with.
I think it affects their lives and our lives as staff in a beautiful way. We hear all the time that this is like coming to another home, and that it's a place where they feel safe and supported, learning new skills, having more friends, and really feeling uplifted.
People that participate in our classes at Cancer Support Community have stated themselves that this place makes a difference in their lives on a daily basis. We have participants who come 5 days a week, and it's refreshing to see them smile, see them dancing, see them laugh, and even being vulnerable when they sit in their groups to share what's on their hearts at that time, share their vulnerabilities, share their fears, but know that it's a safe place. It's a place of family, it's a place to connect.
I have definitely received phone calls from people just about the programs where you can hear it in their voice, where they're just like, thank you so much for that program. I think what the programs that you guys offer are so great. So I think that it offers hope to people. And I think participants definitely receive community, which I think is the point.
It affects the lives of people participating in a very positive light, just because they aren't, just a sick person all the time, and they can come here, they can learn new things, they can, participate in other programs with people, make friends. There's just so many possibilities that this place has to offer.
Imagine yourself in a doctor's office and the doctor has just indicated to you that you have some form of cancer. The first thing that goes through your mind is, wow, it's a hit. It's like, I question my longevity. I question, what am I going to do? How am I going to afford this? What am I going to do, and how am I going to tell my family, my kids, and friends? This location allows you to come in and share your story so that you can go back to explain those things to your family in a better way. So from an emotional state of mind, this place is needed because you have the medical side and you have the psychosocial side. And this place is all about the emotional attention.
Gaining some extra calories you don't need, staying up till 2 or 1 a.m. getting Corrido, We'll burn some of that body fat by heading down to the O'Connor Sports Center and attending HIIT. HIIT, meaning High Intensity Interval Training, is a program combined with cardio exercises to keep you in shape here at Xavier University. Not only do you lose calories, but it's completely free, and it's run by exercise instructors. Now that the weather is getting colder, the whole class is done in a nice room at our fitness center. Head down to O'Connor's Monday at 5 p.m., Tuesday at 6 p.m., or Thursdays at 7 p.m. to get a move on your exercise in a special way. This is a great way to relax from all the troubles of homework and school and get all the stress out in a fast way. Now there are no excuses to gain pounds you don't need here at Xavier University.
All right, that's all from the news desk, people.
We'll be right back with Lucas Robbins and the Xavier Sports Report.
Good afternoon and welcome back to the Xavier Sports Report. I'm Lucas Robbins and we'll get right into it with the women's soccer team, who ended their regular season last night versus the Georgetown Hoyas. The 0-0 match ended with a draw, but it was a monumental draw for the Big East Championship seeding. With it, Xavier secured its 4th seed in the championship and thus a home field advantage for the first game of the tournament. With an impressive 10-7-2 record, I have faith that the team will give quite a show for the home crowd next week. In women's volleyball, for the 2nd straight week, Xavier has had a student athlete named Big East Player of the Week. Last week, Laura Grossman was honored with the Big East Offensive Player of the Week, while this week, teammate Meredith Clare was named Big East Defensive Player of the Week. With these two bouncing each other's skill set, the Musketeers will look to begin their 5-game homestead on good footing tonight at 7 p.m. at the Cintas Center versus Seton Hall. Tomorrow at 6 p.m., they'll play another Big East rival in a clash with the Red Storm of St. John's. Best of luck, Musketeers. And finally, men's basketball team attended a Big East Basketball Media Day with a lot of headlines swirling around. The coach's preseason poll was announced and predicted the Musketeers will finish 6th in the Big East. Per usual, the national media doesn't give Xavier the credit it deserves and will keep us in the middle of the pack with a new coach and a large transfer class on our team. I'm not salty about it at all. On the bright side, though, sophomore Najee Marshall was named honorable mention for the Big East, and as expectations are soaring for the two-way forward from Atlantic City. The Musketeer fans are anticipating a big leap for Marshall and fellow sophomore Paul Scruggs. If they can help out juniors Tyreek Jones and Quentin Gooden, along with 3 grad transfers forming a solid rotation, this team will have a good shot defying the national perception of them this season. And that'll do it for another edition of Xavier Sports. Happy Halloween, everyone. And as always, let's go X.